Neck of the Woods with another video. And this is a request video by a good friend of mine who knows I make YouTube videos, and he's also subscribed to me. I'm not going to give you his name because his YouTube name is the same name as his real name in real life. So I'm going to give him his privacy. He doesn't need to shout himself out, but he knows who he is. And also, this video is also going to be partly a personal anecdote because I also have experienced what I'm about to talk about, and I can relate to this topic. And also, my friend, I'm going to refer to him as Larry. Larry's not his real name, but I'm going to refer to him as Larry. So anyhow, Larry, I met him about 9 years ago. We were standing in line, getting ready to go into this club we used to frequent. It's called Jamaican Gold slash Poom Poom Tuesday or something. We used to go to that a lot. Hot. And so yeah, we became friends from that day point right there. And so he started talking to me. He told me about how his dad had passed away. He's originally from New Orleans. He moved out to California, and his dad had passed away, and his dad had some money. His dad was like had properties and businesses and had money. Passed away, and he was supposed to have money left over to him as an inheritance, and he was going through something with his stepmother at the time. So now let's examine that, because I could relate to everything he was talking about. So he said his dad passed away, and I related to him on that count because my mom had passed away like 8 or 9 years prior to that, the time I met him, and my grandmother had passed away about 3 years before that. Not before my mom, but like before I met my friend Larry. So, and I had already went through the bereavement, grieving process, and I understood what he was going through. So that's one count that I relate to him. The second thing is, okay, again, his father had money, like I said before, and it was left to him in like an inheritance. But I think something about the documents wasn't properly set up. Also, I don't think his dad had a will. And how I relate to him on that is both my mom and grandmother, they both had something set up for me as for like me as a beneficiary in the event if something happened to them. But I was beat out of my own money from my aunt, who was the one in charge of the whole business of handling paperwork and whatnot when there's a death. Because my aunt, who's my mom's younger sister, she owned her own real estate business, and for that she was looked at as like a businesswoman. So, and she's the one that beat me out of money. So that's why I don't talk to her. I went no contact with her. And then the third thing, and really this is the main reason why I'm doing this video. I'm talking about the inheritance as it relates to black people and how they're affected of their lack of knowledge of it. And then the third thing that I would relate to my friend Larry is, again, both of us have evil, wicked stepmothers who are witches. Witches. Yes. His stepmother was blocking him from getting his money. That was pretty much it. His stepmother, his dad was married to his stepmother, and by the fact that she's married to him, I guess she gets like almost everything, if not everything, unless there's something stated that the children get something. And my friend she was blocking every situation and holding his money. And I relate to that because, well, my dad, he's not rich or successful, but he has an income and whatnot. He was living at the time. Actually, my dad has passed away. I found out about that not too long ago. It's a little sidetracked, but I'm going to talk about that in another video, especially if people request it and they really want to hear that story. But yeah, I relate to him on that count because we both have evil stepmothers. And yeah, we just became real close. So he wanted me to do this video. The way I see it, black people, as we know statistically, most black people just do not have as much money or resources compared to other race of people here in the United States, especially when it comes to white and Asian people. And I think many Hispanic people, I think we're either neck and neck or they probably have a little bit more statistically. I don't, I'm not quite sure, but I believe inheritance is a good way to pass whatever wealth or resource um, the relative has onto their children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews or any other descendants they may have. For one, not many black people, I mean, the ones who have the money and who have the resources, I feel even those that have it aren't properly versed on how to like write wills and set up trust funds or trust accounts or have like documents in writing that states that said person who is son or daughter, niece or nephew or grandchild, whoever it may be, whatever the case may be, that they're going to be okay, as a result of their passing. Because when whatever you have, you can't take it with you when you decease. So you gotta leave it to someone else. But what I've noticed, it just seems oftentimes, it could be the man who has the resource and something happens to him, he goes away. He's more than likely he's a beta male. He's a simp. He's married to some greedy leech who's conniving, and as a result, everything's left over to her. Especially if this fool puts her power of attorney, especially if he's ill or falling ill. And when this person has that much control, it's like it's a done deal. You really can't do too much unless you have an attorney yourself, and not too many people have enough money to get an attorney for such situations, even though it's needed. That's basically what happened to my friend Larry. Okay, well, he wanted me to talk about it, and I don't want to put too much of his business out there, but basically his dad was married to his stepmother and stepped out on the marriage and got with my friend's mother and got her pregnant, and she had him. I propose, and this is to any of you dudes out there who are players or quote unquote womanizers or just have multiple women or whatever the case may be, and you're married to your wife, and for whatever reason you step out and you get another woman pregnant and she has the baby, Okay, yes, you're responsible for the child. Yes, it is what it is. But you need to have something set up where your children, I mean, they came to this world as a result of one of like the action you did, and you need to make sure they're set up and okay just in case something happens to you, because you can't live forever. Even though my friend was an adult when his dad passed, but he needs his money, and his money should be left over to him, his part, whatever that is entitled to him, because he has, like, I think a sister and someone else. I don't know how many people's involved who's supposed to get the money, but the point is he didn't get his money. And I see this kind of thing happen with black people all the time. Black people just make horrible business decisions, number one. Number two, they just seem to not care or give a damn, whether they know or not. They just don't care. They don't give a fuck. They're all about themselves at the end of the day. They don't care about other people. It was a little bit different with me. Whatever that I was supposed to get, because, well, again, like, my dad passed away recently, and I don't. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna make a video talking about that whole deal. I just don't know how I'm gonna put it out, but for me, it was my mom and my grandmother who had whatever little resource that they had, and it was supposed to be passed on to me. My mom left me $36,000 because she worked for the state of California, and she passed away. And I think that was what she had earned, or what was set up on her, and then it was to be left over to me. And then I only received $12,000 out of that 36,000. Again, I'm gonna make a video talking about that whole deal. Just, if any of you want to hear it and you request it, that lets me know you really want to hear it, and I will make that video. This true story. This really happened. And my aunt just took she had it split up between me and my grandmother and myself. We all got $12,000 apiece. That's a long story. Like I said, I'll tell you that. But the point is, my grandmother, she knew, and I'm not mad at my grandmother. I don't think my granny did anything wrong, other than just having my aunt run things. But my granny, basically, whatever money she had, she pretty much, I had access to that, to be quite honest. She didn't really just take that money and run with it, because I lived with my grandmother and she wanted me to benefit. So, and then when my grandmother passed away, she had what was told to me, supposedly $5,000, and I didn't receive a dime from that. You see the crookery in that. So, and also with my mom, when she passed away, I was 17, and I wasn't legally an adult, and I didn't quite understand business at that time, the way things worked. I didn't know how to challenge that sort of thing. So, that's pretty much. I just wanted to make awareness. This is what I believe. Black people are grossly affected, of course, in many different ways, and I believe inheritance. Black families, especially certain loved ones, if they love their descendants, they need to apply more due diligence in regards to inheritance, so their descendants can be taken care of. If you like this video or you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, a like. If you disagree, of course, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment. Tell me your experience. Tell me what you think. Share this video also. And that is all I got to say on that matter.